there's no such thing as a billion-dollar divorce that slips under the radar, let alone a $124 billion divorce. In the May 3, 2021, announcement that Bill Gates and Melinda Gates were ending their marriage after 27 years came as a shock regardless, the Microsoft co-founder and his partner in global philanthropy innocuously chugging along all that time, their Seattle area home base a 66,000-square-foot megamansion with its own beach on the shore of Lake Washington. Though there's no such thing as too much space at times. Working from home, that was a piece that I think we hadn't really individually prepared for quite as much, Melinda told the New York Times in October 2020, the comment made mid-pandemic now dripping with hindsight. The odd thing about COVID is that it gave me the privacy to do what I needed to do, Melinda reflected to Fortune in the fall of 2022. It's unbelievably painful, in innumerable ways, but I had the privacy to get through it. Among the immediate questions in the wake of the split news, what was to become of their eponymous foundation, which since 2000 had dispersed $53.8 billion to public health and development initiatives, including $20 billion of the couple's own Microsoft stock. And what about all their money in general, since one of the first behind-the-scenes details to come out about the parents of three was that they had no prenuptial agreement? Then, of course, there were the personal questions. What led them to the belief, as they said in their official statement, that they could no longer grow together as a couple in the next phase of our lives? What led to their marriage becoming, as Melinda's divorce petition stated, irretrievably broken? Well, as Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who these days trades richest person in the world status, a title Bill first assumed in 1995 at the age of 39, back and forth with thrice-divorced Elon Musk, proved when he and wife Mackenzie Scott filed for divorce in 2019. It's usually something. Bill Gates, Melinda Gates. Seth Wenig/AP/Shutterstock. Bill Gates, who started Microsoft with Paul Allen in 1975, when the idea of personal computers in every home was still science fiction, met Melinda French on the job in 1987, about 4 months after she joined Microsoft, the only woman in the company's 10-person MBA recruitment class that year. The high school valedictorian and Duke University grad, whose father brought home an Apple II when she was 14, sparking her interest in programming, sat in one of only 2 open seats at a trade fair dinner in New York, and Bill arrived and took the other chair. Melinda later said of the CEO that he was funnier than I expected him to be. Some months went by before Bill first asked her out, taking the opportunity when they bumped into each other, not literally, in the parking lot on a Saturday. Everybody seemed to work on a Saturday at Microsoft, Melinda explained on the January 20, 2021, episode of the What's Her Story with Sam and Amy podcast. But he suggested 2 weeks from Friday, and she informed him that wasn't spontaneous enough for her, that she had no idea what she'd be up to that far ahead. He got her number, in the message, and called to see if she was available for a drink that night. After the various meetings on his schedule, they bonded over brain teasers and puzzles, board games and music. His favorite book was The Great Gatsby, and she'd read it twice. How does Melinda make you feel? She recalled someone asking Bill in her 2019 book The Moment of Lift, how empowering women changes the world. His reply, amazingly, she makes me feel like getting married. Melinda didn't share the identity of that particular confidant, but in 1997 Bill told Time that he consulted his ex-girlfriend and fellow tech whiz in Winblad before popping the question. When I was off on my own thinking about marrying Melinda, I called in and asked for her approval, he shared. And told the magazine, I said she'd be a good match for him because she had intellectual stamina. Bill and Melinda got engaged in 1993 and, having already talked about starting a foundation, married in Hawaii on January 1, 1994. Willie Nelson performed at the nuptials. Meanwhile, Bill made no secret of the fact that he and Ann, who had traveled to Brazil, Central Africa, and other far-flung locations together as a couple before breaking up in 1987, continued to enjoy their tradition of annual getaways, a long weekend every spring at her beach cottage in North Carolina, with Melinda's understanding. "We can play putt-putt while discussing biotechnology," Bill told Time. A source told the New York Post in the wake of the Gates divorce filing that and married Detective Alex Klein, brother of actor Kevin Kline. So, that wasn't very normal, but what is when your husband is busily running one of the most successful and universally renowned companies of all time? Even their massive house, which Bill had started building when he was a bachelor,